Hello there YouTube, Ken here, aka Fan85. So the new trailer for Superman, or Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice has been released officially by Warner Brothers on their YouTube channel. After watching it several times, there is a couple of Easter eggs you can find in it. And by the way, I'm loving this trailer. The dark grittiness of it, the showing of Superman as a false god, false deity, as it were, is just great. You can hear Neil deGrasse Tyson in it. You can hear Lex Luthor in it. You can even hear Ben Affleck's Bat voice in it, which I am loving. He uses a voice changer near the end. By the way, let me go ahead and pause this real quick. If we go back a little bit, a little bit further, sorry about that. This right here, these are some of the shock troops from Injustice. I think it's kind of a reference throwback to that that Snyder threw in there, and I think it's really, really awesome. So let's keep going.
Just a guy trying to do the right thing. We know better now, don't we? Devils don't come from hell beneath us.
It's Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor right there. Right here, obviously kind of a symbolism of somebody reaching out to what they believe to be a god, which is just, an artistic view of Superman, and I love it. A lot of people are going to be torn by this, but let's carry on. Now right here is where you really see where the world is going with Superman. False god. And of course there's
the fever, the rage.
There's Mr. Affleck as Bruce Wayne. He looks great. I give them much props for that. And of course the Batsuit. Okay, so a little note on the Batsuit here. It has been said that it takes 3 people to get Affleck into it, and that he can turn his head. Which sounds stupid, but is actually a big deal for Batman, because it took him 3 films to figure it out with the Dark Knight trilogy. And they're doing this. This is set about 30 to 35 years to 40 years later. There is going to be a reference to a bunch of stuff in Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is supposed to be a prequel before all of this, but it's going to be great. So be sure to look for Suicide Squad as well. You can find videos here on YouTube, but it is going to talk about a little bit between the relationship between the Joker and Batman. So let's go ahead and go.
Cruel.
Okay, so right here is where I really saw what I'm very amped up about. Obviously, that is Batman. He's in some kind of ruins, but if you look over here to the left, that is a Riddler question mark. There's also different other things thrown in here. Drunk. I'm sure there's some other stuff I'm missing as well, but that's the thing that stood out to me. So, you can check that out, maybe look into it. Maybe a little bit of a Riddler appearance in some future movies. Who knows? I would absolutely love. His persona sticks out in all of his characters, but I would love to see Johnny Depp as the Riddler. That's my personal vouch for it. But there's also a few other things in here. Again, just various stuff you can look into. And let's carry on. Okay, now right here, the Batmobile. This does look like the Tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy, but in the previous 6 to 7 months, they did release a photo, and it technically is the Tumbler, but they have made a lot of additions, a lot of modifications to it, and it looks fantastic. If you Google it, you can actually bring up the picture of it. There's more of a black and white to it. It's actually kind of the famous picture of Affleck as Batman just standing there, and he looks kind of, he just looks kind of downtrodden. But it was one of the photos first initially released to show the Batsuit. Okay, now Affleck in the Batsuit looks glorious to me. And yes, I use the term glorious, and here's why. Because he is a huge Batman. In previous movies with Batman, in previous universes, he has been a lean, mean fighting machine. But here, he equals Superman when it comes to both size and girth. Maybe even more so. Because Affleck really filled himself out. I'm fairly sure maybe this costume is maybe 10% rubber, but that is mostly Affleck. He is a huge guy for this. A lot more than he was for Daredevil. And by the way, people will throw it back to Daredevil for Affleck's performance. The problem with that is that really Affleck, that was the first time he was jumping into hero movies, and he didn't really get a feel for it. I am expecting a great performance out of him for Batman. Now, let it be said, I am a DC fanboy, but he is looking great in this. You can see that he is able to turn his head a little bit with the cowl, which I'm liking, and again, the suit is just awesome. I love what they've done with the cape. Okay, standard Batman shot here, him looking over what is potentially Gotham. You can see he does look bigger than other Batmans, especially the broad shoulders, the neck. I mean, it looks like he doesn't have a neck sometimes, but it's just looking great. Okay, so right here, he's looking up at Superman, a total face down. If we go back a little bit. Alright, so the metal mech Batsuit. There is a lot going for this. Obviously, the glowing eyes is what stands out, but he does have some uber protection when it comes to taking a punch from Superman. In the comics and in the animated movie, he has a lot of gadgets in that suit, and he is able to take a beating. If you haven't seen the Batman animated movies, check them out, specifically The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. This is where a lot of this inspiration comes from, as well as the comic. It's great. Check it out. You can kind of get a forebearing of what's coming. It'll kind of give you a small idea. I'm fairly sure they worked away from some of that for the film, but again, this is just looking awesome. And of course, Affleck's chin very prominently standing out in this. And you can tell the cape's made of some kind of awesome fabric. Maybe, I don't know, some kind of metal mesh, I would think, but I could be wrong, so let's carry on.
Tell me, do you bleed?
Alright, right there, you can hear the voice changer, which, again, I think is such a great idea and hardly ever used in Hollywood except for in horror movies. I'm liking it because it's a very touch. I don't know if it's only going to be able to be used in his metal suit or if he uses it in his actual suit too. One thing they've recently done with the Arrow series is that Oliver has actually used the voice changer quite a bit when he's talking to people that he associates with, that if they don't know he's Oliver, it just says the Arrow. So that may be where they got some inspiration from. I'm not sure, but it's working, and I really, really like it.
You will.
And of course, we work out to the prominent logo. Now, this is something they worked out about 8-9 months ago, and I think it pays homage to the classic Batman Superman cartoons, which I grew up on personally. So again, that's why I'm such a huge fanboy, because I grew up on all this. But I love the logo. And of course, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and it's giving you a date in Real D 3D and Max 3D. And of course, there's your credits. So this was supposed to only be released on Monday, but with the leak, I think Warner Brothers just kind of, just said, you know what, screw it, put it out there, and we'll see what we do. Now, a lot of people argue that previous Marvel trailers have more views than this movie. And while, again, I am a very, very devout fanboy of DC and Warner Brothers because I love what they do, I think most of the time all they touch is gold. That's my kind of thinking on it. I will own to that. But the thing you got to remember with that is that, again, this wasn't supposed to be released until Monday, so people don't really know it's there. And with Marvel movies, I will give it to them that they have more of a prominent stage when it comes to the movies because they've been doing it longer. Batman movies have been around longer. Superman movies have been around longer. Maybe in comparison, they are a little bit more dark, except for the Christopher Reeves era of Superman. Had a lot of humor in there, obviously, but it's like night and day. DC, the universe there, it's going to be darker because it's Batman. Batman is their highest selling hero, while Marvel is kind of still is always going to be the daytime, and that's my take on it. That may sound a little mixed up, but I am very excited. And I'm actually very kerfuffled with this trailer because it gave me goosebumps because I love what they're doing with it. So, anyway, I just wanted to throw this breakdown up on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and for now, we have less than a year, people. Less than a year. So, I will see you soon. Peace.